Hello and welcome into the Fallout Shelter. I hope you are all having a great day. I hope it is the best it can be wherever it is, and it's good to be with everyone here again today. Going to go over some of the news topics of the day, and you draw your attention up to the screen and copy this, and anytime anybody tells you to wear a mask for their health, show them this and tell them wear a mask for your health. I think it speaks for itself, but I'm going to go over the Newsom issue here briefly and generally. And I'm going to go over a couple other little things. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start right here. We all know that Miss Maxwell has been arrested. So I think we should all go ahead now and have a moment of silence for Miss Maxwell, who is definitely probably now on the Clinton kill list. There we go. Of course. Hey there, Rare Breeds. Good to see you. Good afternoon for some more truth. So I've got to turn an air conditioner off that I forgot was on. Right back. It's a dinosaur. It makes a lot more racket than I do. Okay, anyway, Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly has secret video footage of Prince Andrew. Really? Well, I thought she had secret video footage of virtually everybody on the planet that is an elite, and that was their whole plan. So that's what that'll come around to. But her accused accomplice, Jeffrey Epstein's accused accomplice, has secret video footage of Britain's Prince Andrew, and she may be willing to share it with prosecutors. Right now, I'm surprised she's willing to share anything and willing to move. But you know how it is. She's not really going to die. She's not going to kill herself. She's going to end up wherever Epstein's at, doing the exact same thing in another country somewhere under the guise of a different name. The funny part about this story, not really going to get into it too deep, but you know, if she secretly has this video footage, it's not going to matter because, like we learned here, a judge orders the Epstein accuser to destroy files because they weren't legally obtained. So it doesn't matter what type of evidence they have on the elite. The elite have ways around it, and, well, that's just the way that is. That's the world we live in. That's what we have to work with. Protect your children. Teach your children the truth. Don't hide the truth from your children because they're going to teach the children their truth with the television at all times. They're going to indoctrinate your child into everything that they can at all times. If you're not teaching your child the truth and showing them these things, you have no chance with them later on, I will guarantee it. They will completely be programmed like the sheeple of today. Kind of something that I was getting to earlier. The people, you can show, I have shown people the video of those masks being made on the floor, and they're still so scared of the fake invisible virus that, oh yeah, do you know anybody that has it? Well, yeah, my mother was diagnosed with it, and guess what? She has every symptom that should have put her in the 0.03% kill rate. It should have taken her in days. Diabetic, COPD, emphysema, the heart, whatever. Guess what? She's still kicking, and I talk to her daily now. She's struggling, but she was struggling way before this. 40-year diabetic, 9 back surgeries, all that going on. Guess what? She had a rough life. But when she got to the hospital for a fall that she needed a couple of stitches for, Amazingly, a few days later, she got COVID. Amazingly, a few days later, she had antibodies. She hasn't built antibodies to nothing in 30 years. Hello? Money grab. So yeah, I know somebody that has been marked on, pretty close to them, talk to them daily, and our county, that was the place where all of the people will go that have it, there were 3 people on that floor with her. It was like an empty floor. And she's supposed to be coming home in a couple of weeks, and she says she wants to talk about it. So, I pray the Lord leaves her here that long, and if not, well, it wasn't that time. So, you take things as they come. That's the kind of way I'm going to look at it. Welcome in Romans 8:11, Tammy Wesley. And it's Snoopy, Rocky Smith, DZ DeLenzio, Janine Matos. Awesome to see y'all. Yes, real sanitary conditions. Look one more time. Make sure you look real close, because they're folding them on the same floor. They're folding them on the same floor that they're walking on barefooted. Now, I can show you a whole lot of problems in here. We have probably got child labor laws going on, but since it's overseas, they let that slide. Probably owned by a company like Amazon or Apple or something. What can I say about this? Thank you, RL. It speaks for itself. I got this video from Twitter. After watching it many, many, many times, I decided that it was not set up. I just don't think it's set up at all. And that's the reason I showed it up out there. Sarah Mason is my actual name. Good to see you. Are you serious? Absolutely not most of the time, but I am angry about the propaganda. I'd rather laugh about it than cry, you know what I mean? Okay, that's enough with the Epstein stuff. Hey, Ann, good to see you again. Glad to be on here chatting with y'all. Okay, Epstein, it doesn't matter. They're not... Oh, yeah. I'm going to share these links with y'all, and I'm going to do it over in the chat. I forgot. Y'all might have to remind me. I stabbed a razor knife through my palm yesterday. I know, it was stupid. I was not following proper knife safety. It was hot outside. I had done got aggravated. And anyway, to the point, I stabbed myself with a razor knife. So I'm working one-handed today. For those of y'all that usually join me on D-Live, that's why there was no Fallout Shelter on D-Live last night. Because Fallout Shelter freaking was hurting. So I'm just going to share these into the chat today. Thank you, Lori Ann. Thank you so much. My mother's been through so much, and her heart and her soul is correct. We've talked about it on a daily. If she were to pass today, we have discussed it. We are comfortable with it. I'm so glad that we have the relationship that we have in that manner. With some of the things she's been through, we've said our goodbyes more than once. And if the coronavirus didn't take her, I'm not scared of it at all. You just see what I'm saying? Okay, but here's a guy that I am kind of irritated with. Let me get back to this. Oh, Mr. Hanks, you're the whole reason that I've got these masks up on the screen. I wish I could really, sit down and talk to you and just see how big of an idiot you really are. You've probably spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg has, because you're an actor. You know nothing about the medical facility except for they tested you for coronavirus and you tested positive. The same as a fruit. Yeah, a fruit. And I think some animal. I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, I think you tested the same. So you were sick with it, a fruit was sick with it, and some animal was sick with it, all at the same time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you and Wilson both had it. Maybe the ball had it. In most of your movies, you're alone or an idiot. You're never the smart guy. I go all the way back to the beginning in Bachelor Party. You were an idiot. Splash, you were an idiot. Big, you were an idiot. You've been alone on an island. You've been locked in an airline facility. How are you? You haven't even played a doctor or a good one. Not one that's memorable. You know, I bet you haven't even stayed at a Motel 6 or a Holiday Inn Express. Yeah, oh, that's what it is. I bet you didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express. You have no medical training. You have a doctor told you were sick, you needed to wear a mask, and you're okay. And the people who pay you bunches and bunches of money said, hey, go out there and tell the sheeple to wear a mask. And you said, okay, I'm going to do whatever you tell me to. Because that's just who you are. Now, it's a shame that there's some people that have been brainwashed to the point they cannot see the truth in plain sight. Crap, I'm bleeding again. No, just a second. My little... I knew I was going to get wound up or shake my hand or something and start some bleeding going. But it's all right. We soldier on. Oh, hey there, Janine Matos. Yes, Tom Hoax, Rocky USA, and Tammy Wesley. Good to see all you people coming in. It's hard for me to see the YouTube chat, so I try to keep up with it best I can. And if I don't, I'm really sorry. I love everyone. Appreciate y'all being here. But it says Tom Hanks, who recovered from COVID-19 earlier this year, has said he has no respect for people who decline to wear a mask in public during the pandemic. Oh, but I bet if you ask him, he respects the people who aren't wearing their masks at the protests during the pandemic because they're standing up for their political justice. The right-left fight paradigm. Oh my goodness, we can't have Trump in the White House. Oh my goodness, Biden's an idiot. They're all idiots! And it doesn't matter what you think. You will never get to choose who you want to vote for president. Think about that statement. You get to vote for their choice that they put in front of you for president, and then who knows if the votes are ever really real or not. At the end, it's always they just won it by this much. Really, out of 330 million people, it always is just this much? Have you really divided us that close down the middle? I just don't buy into all that. We may be divided, but it may be like a 25-25, 50. 25 left, 25 right, 50 just really don't give up anymore. We're kind of fed up with all of it, you know what I mean? I'm kind of fed up with all of it. I'm fed up with actors telling me how to live. I'm fed up with politicians telling me, welcome to the land of the free, home of the brave. Now go home and put on your mask and we'll let you go back to work when it's safe for you. Let me tell you something. You can take this back to the 1990s when they mandated you wear your seatbelt. Okay, are seatbelts a good idea? Yeah, they're a great idea. I drove race cars. Yeah, absolutely mandated in a race car. Guess what? Probably a good idea in life. But it doesn't save me from me. No, let me rephrase. It saves me from me. It doesn't save me from you. It doesn't save you from me. It's a money gain. They take your freedom in the guise of safety, and then they put a price tag on what that fine is. It's income. They take your freedom, and they put a price on it. There's always financial gain. The helmet law on a motorcycle. You're going to tell me I've got to wear a helmet if I'm riding a motorcycle? Really? Why? What do you care? If I crash my motorcycle, odds are I'm going to be hurt really bad, helmet or not. I was just that big of an idiot. Get it? But I was free to be that big of an idiot. I was free. Yes, you can drop any links you want, Lorianne, in chat. Absolutely. Now, should I wear a helmet? Yes. But should it be mandated for me to wear that helmet? Absolutely not. Now, the mask thing is totally different because there's nothing but the flu going around. I've been telling people since January, You're dealing with the common cold. And now they're telling people, oh yeah, if you're testing positive for the coronavirus, it may be because you had a coronavirus cold. You know, because there's also an adenovirus, a rhinovirus, and a coronavirus cold. That's been the common cold since the 1970s. At least some of the early written stuff that I found. Hey, Conchetta. How you doing? Good to see you. I have no patience for the people who are entertainers, have no education, they do no research, and they prove nothing when they talk. Nothing at all. They don't give you the white papers. They don't give you, they don't share any information at all. They just never do. You can go back on, well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go back on it in a minute. I'll show y'all in a minute. I started this doing a lot of research, and right now it's just kind of hard to avoid some of the news and chat and ranting about it. Let's talk about Newsom, because he's going to be the topic of this discussion through the masks and through this little deal right here. Now, what's really happening to society today? With a worsening pandemic, California bans. Okay, now I'm sure people are still singing in church just like they shot fireworks off as a big middle finger on the 4th of July. That was kind of good to see that the people in LA would revolt like that and shoot fireworks off. That was pretty cool. Like to see them stand up in the street against abortion, a real pandemic. But small victories, I reckon. California bans singing in places of worship. While you can still attend in-person church services in California, you can't sing. The state to curb a rapidly worsening pandemic. No, it's not! Nobody is falling down in the streets dead. A pandemic would be if you happen to went out on the street and there was pieces of paper blowing by and nobody was there. Maybe an ambulance or a cop car and military vehicle rolled by that was locked down and people in hazmat suits. That would be a pandemic. As long as you could go to Burger King and get you an Impossible Whopper, as long as you could still go to McDonald's and get a double quarter pounder poison with cheese, as long as you could still get your mail, the mail, it's handled by more people and has more germs on it than any other thing in the world. Your packages from UPS, your packages from Amazon. Oh yeah, because they only increased $400 billion worth of wealth during the pandemic because their stuff didn't slow down. Your mom and pops, the businesses that you may own, the businesses that you may work for, may have all went the way of the dodo bird. And now they want to tell you you cannot sing in church. Okay, can't. You're banning it. All right, well, what else are we going to ban? Well, let's see. They also had an article about the protesters. Let's see what it says about the protesters. Newsom appeals to California protesters, consider others and stay home. Where's the word ban? Appeals. Consider others. Stay home. Well, I'm not subscribing to the San Francisco Chronicle because, quite frankly, I just don't care that much about the San Francisco Chronicle. It's all about money and control. There you go. And every time the government says this is for your safety, it means this is for our control. Ugh. Oh, that is awesome. Tennessee just took a stand on abortion. We got the heartbeat law passed. All right, now what we got to do is get other places like New York to take a stand, because like they can like kill up to like a month after birth, right? And just if they decide they don't want the child after it's a headache. Yeah, y'all, I know that sounds crazy, but in Norway or somewhere, there was a 16-year-old girl who was just allowed to kill herself because of harassment and bullying and health problems, that she decided she didn't want to live anymore, and now it's legal. Yeah, we got a lot bigger fish to fry than where our eyes are at a lot of times. That's awesome too. Well, let's look at this right here. Okay, that's my point. But it's not just Newsom, y'all. The Chicago mayors, all these other places, they're sending the cops in to shut churches down, but they're telling them to take a knee with the protesters, let the protesters have the police precincts, let them run wild. Kind of like in Seattle. I have been screaming this on DLive nightly. What happened in the Seattle chop zone the minute they actually said, hey, let's go put some pressure on the mayor's home? Oh, within an hour, the police shut it down. What does that let you know? That they didn't want to shut it down to begin with. When people were getting shot and bleeding out on the street and probably women being raped, there's no telling what went on in that area. But whatever went on was allowed to go on until the mayor's property got threatened. 1 hour after the mayor's property got threatened, they went through it, they shut it down, no problem. People run out because they know why. They came in force and they did their job. And it really went fairly quickly and easily. The same way that it would go anywhere in the country if they didn't want it to be happening. If they didn't want the discourse. If they didn't want the division and separation and the Civil War, because it keeps us fighting with each other while not paying attention to Newsom's $1 billion medical mask deal. You know the video I put out earlier? If y'all missed it, you ought to check it out. The previous articles on this where the company couldn't get its federal certification. Well, Gavin Newsom's $1 billion medical mask deal, the company finally wins safety certification. Where have I found that at? Oh, I found it at buymasks.com. Not a conspiracy, nothing, not really even a news agency. It's a freaking place to buy stuff. Buymasks.com. Gavin Newsom's $1 billion medical mask deal company finally wins safety certification. And if you're just joining us, they missed the first review deadline. And look, here's the making of some masks right here on the side. And according to the table that they showed, that date would have been February of 2020. So this actually, yeah. Yeah, you wear that. I've been showing that video to people. Like, I'm not putting that on. Heck, here, you, look at what you're wearing. Yeah. But anyway, I'm smart enough not to put it on. I hope you are too. Now let's see, what did this one say? Oh yeah, that one's a stay at home. Let's see, this is another one. This is the San Francisco Chronicle saying it, and there's no article there. So company finally wins safety certification in Newsom's $1 billion medical mask deal. Also from the San Francisco Chronicle. In case you have a subscription and want to go check those out, there are the links. I had them there for the headlines. But you can go read right here from the Press Democrat, one of the whole articles. California deal for millions of protective masks wins federal approval. I'm going to read a second of this, and I want you to look at the other screen while I read this, okay? Millions of protective masks will soon be on their way to California after the manufacturer paid by the state to make them finally won U.S. federal certification. The governor's office announced Monday. It came more than a month after the masks had originally been set to start arriving. Governor Gavin Newsom's administration signed a nearly $1 billion contract with BYD, a Chinese company with California offices, in April for hundreds of millions of protective masks for healthcare workers and others amid the coronavirus. If you want to read more of this nonsensical bullcrap, you have the link. But hear that and look at that. What is wrong with the sheeple? I seen a great meme the other day, and every once in a while I find one that catches my attention. And it was a bunch of sheep, and then one sheep looking at them. And the one sheep was like, y'all, I promise you the dog and the man are working together. And the other ones are like, you and your conspiracies. That is so true. The man and the dog are working together. Tom Hanks, Gavin Newsom, the people at the very top, they just don't realize they're the dogs because they think they're their best friend, even though they make them sleep on the floor and put them in the pen at night. They just give them a really nice floor and a really nice pen. Oh, I'd rather be outside in the woods. At least I know I'm free. Love pugs, Big Bear. Anybody else has come in, good to see y'all. Much love to you all. Oh, man. All right, back to there. Okay, I think that's enough about Newsom, Tom Hanks, Jeffries. What else did I have up there to show y'all that I've been going through? Oh, yeah. Here we go. I want to show y'all a little something. And people don't listen to me much. And maybe they should a little more. I don't know. I want to show y'all. Okay. I'm not going to play it because I really just don't like listening to myself. And I don't know why that is, but it just is what it is. But if you look at the screen, this is a stream from January 29th, 2020. Okay. I had been streaming on this since December on D-Live daily. I got Rare Breeds and some other D-Livers over here. They know this. I started telling people in December and January about Novavax and Inovia. At that time, it was about $4 a share. Okay? When I done this video, it was $6.77 a share on January 29th. And I was telling everybody, the fast track is coming. Bill Gates has his hands in Novavax and Inovia. He has more money in all of the philanthropic stuff than most all world governments. It's going to go to his people. This thing is going to soar. It's going to skyrocket. Now, I don't take place in it because I believe it's part of the beast system. It has a Moloch statue at the end of Wall Street. It's just how I am. I've missed out probably on tons of financial opportunities. I just have to feel in my heart I'm doing the right thing. Everything's always provided for me, and the Father's been more than gracious in what I'm blessed with. So, but I was telling people this is how you see things. Look in the business articles. Look at what's going to happen. When they started talking about fast tracking and all that, that was before we heard about Operation Warp Speed. But they were calling it Operation Fast Track. And I think I brought up Warp Speed at some point. But we went over so much so quickly that it all kind of was a blur. But at YouTube, these stay up. So I was able to go back and look at this one. And it was that day, it was $6.77. And I was showing back how on January 5th, it was $4.58. That's kind of where it was at when I started telling people, around $4 a share. Now, yesterday, it was up to $104 at one time. Right now, it's $98.96. This was the line when we were talking about it. Let's go to right here. In January when I started talking about it, and this is where we're at now. Now, how did I know that? What did you know that nobody else knew? I didn't know nothing. I knew that Bill Gates was handing money to Novavax. I knew that Novavax and Inovia were working on this RNA vaccination. How did I know that? Well, because I looked just a little bit. It's on their website. I also knew that they were working on this current flu vaccine that they've been working on for a while that nobody can seem to get quite right. And when Gavi and Seppi start dumping money into things, it's going to skyrocket because Well, they're going to know it's going to skyrocket because all of his buddies are going to invest in it when it's back here because they know about it. And when it gets up here, guess what? It doesn't matter to them if they're successful or not. They've been successful already in the market. Now, if this thing were to bottom out and not work out, they're going to be the first ones to know because Bill Gates funds it all and he knows about every inch of it. He can tell his buddies, hey, sell your stock while it's $500 a share, and then in another couple of months, it's back down to this. Now, how do you know that? Well, let's look at the 5-year run of Novavax. And let's look back to 2016 when there was a big run on some vaccination type products and how their research was showing they were going to be promising. And they were up to $243 on August 21st, 2015. And then all of a sudden, huge sell-off of Novavax stock. Boom, $155 to $25 in a matter of a few days. And guess what? One of those days was September the 11th. And then we're back down here into this range, and this range, and this range. And then bam, we have a huge drop. March of 2019, it runs flat. That right there says to me, be prepared. We're fixing to have a vaccine run because they're getting ready for it. Now right here, the DoD awards a $138 million contract enabling pre-filled syringes for future COVID-19 vaccine. This is from the Department of Defense. Defense.gov, newsroom, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give you this because I'm not going to read all of it. Quite honestly, my hand's starting to hurt, y'all. I get to screaming, my blood pressure goes up a little bit, and it kind of throbbing. At least it's not bleeding as bad as I thought it would. Okay, I have a short video I want to show y'all about this syringe. So check this out. This will probably get me a copyright deal, but at this point, who really cares, right? All right, let me kill my mic to make sure that I don't blast y'all. And check this out. I think it's a minute or two.
Today, the world is battling a global pandemic, and there's plenty of work to do. Some needs are obvious, like developing medicines and vaccines. Some needs are less obvious, like finding a faster way to put those medicines and vaccines into small glass vials so every person in America can quickly get vaccinated. This task sounds simple, but it's surprisingly hard. America has 330 million people, all of whom will likely need 2 to 4 injections. That means packaging between 660 million and 1.3 billion doses of a vaccine, which requires an enormous number of glass vials and syringes. We have some of those glass vials and syringes in stockpiles, but not nearly enough. And it will take at least 12 months to get the needed amounts. We can't wait that long. And even if we somehow got all the glass vials and syringes, we will also need specialized filling machinery to fill all those vials. Again, we have some, but not nearly enough. And for guaranteed access, those filling lines must be located in the U.S. Unfortunately, most are overseas. These obstacles explain why America's Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response and the Strategic National Stockpile, both part of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, have teamed up with a U.S. company called Apiject Systems America to help package hundreds of millions of doses of vaccines and therapeutics fast. The partnership is called the RAPID Consortium. RAPID will build U.S.-based facilities to make a new kind of plastic pre-filled syringe at extraordinary speed. These facilities will make enough pre-filled syringes to inject every man, woman, and child in America with just the right dose 30 days after a vaccine becomes available. Plus, every pre-filled syringe can have an RFID chip attached. This will allow healthcare workers to use their mobile phones to automatically capture where and when every injection takes place, helping public health officials make more informed decisions.
Well, so there you have it. They will be able to make these at a very alarming rate. and we're one step away from, listen, the chip on the shot is one step away from the chip in the shot. It's a slow crawl. Do you not get it? It gets one step closer every time. And then they can scan it with your phone. Guess what? Elon Musk's got some more Starlinks going up today. What is that going to do? It's going to make your GPS just a little bit better. So now instead of knowing you're 3 feet from the spot you're in your living room, it'll know you're 3 inches from the spot you're in your living room. Isn't that convenient? Now every step that you take that is counted by Apple and Google and Samsung and whoever else counts with that little thingy in your phone that bounces every time you do, and it knows where you go, will be exact on where you went. If you were in a restroom, if you were in a changing room, wherever you were at, it will know exactly where you went because of the little Starlinks that are all over, giving you so much better coverage. Remember, anytime you get better coverage, they get better coverage. See, anytime something's made that can benefit mankind, the exact opposite of that production destroys mankind, no matter what it is. And people just don't get that. There are therapeutic roles of a tanning bed, of light, the light frequency being healing. You stay in there just a few minutes too long, and that healing light will burn you. Now, your government's not interested in the healing light because all they're interested in is weapons. But they're going to be able to scan your little shot. And here is where the $138 million contract with Apogee Systems. So that video is absolutely real. And here is that. I think I gave you that link. I'll give it one more time in case I didn't, because sometimes I just forget. From the Department of Defense.gov website, where that comes from, if you want to show your friends, you know. Novavax stock. And why did Novavax have such a big jump? Well, the Maryland-based company, which has never brought a product to market before. I think I remember going over this. In January and February, that this company had never put a product to market. But they've got that Bill Gates stamp of approval. You're good. The Maryland-based company, which has never brought a product to market before, just made the biggest deal to date with the Trump administration. Operation Warp Speed. The federal government will pay the vaccine maker Novavax $1.6 billion to expedite the development of a coronavirus vaccine. It's the largest deal to date from Operation Warp Speed, the sprawling effort to make coronavirus vaccine and treatments available to the American public as quickly as possible. This seems like the best way to steal from the American public as quickly as possible. Oh my gosh. You just gave a company $1.6 billion to develop a vaccine that has never brought a product to market for a disease that has not been proven to exist, that comes from the common cold and the flu that we deal with Tylenol on a yearly basis, and it kills the same amount of people. We just call it the flu. This is a heist. This is going to the laundry and doing your laundry at the biggest level. Because guess what, y'all? Any of these, call them a vaccine if you want, that are really being developed right now, they're not being developed by any of these organizations. They're being developed by DARPA and the Department of the Army and the Department of the Air Force in conjunction with DARPA. They've been talking for years how they want to make the super soldiers be able to mutate their DNA in case they get sprayed with a sarin gas. Their DNA would mutate and protect them from it. This RNA vaccination is something that's been coming for a long, long time. Let me share this link with you here. Oh, I shared that one. New York Times. Anyway, so yeah. And I haven't actually seen the news on it. I haven't had a whole lot of. I've got my filtered water here, but you're right. I'm probably going to go hit some of that. I'm probably going to drink some sweet tea. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. It's in there. I know it is, and I can't wait to get to it. Probably have a fresh tomato sandwich too. That's usually good on the throat. Okay, I think I have some science news on this here. Let's run through these headlines real quick so y'all can kind of see what's going on. I will throw them over in the chat in case you want to check them out. This is what we will be going over tonight in detail on the D live stream. I'm going to try to hit a science type stream over there tonight and kind of get away from the craziness of the day. Heat will stay stuck on extra high. Well, of course it will, because y'all have a thermostat now. You can do whatever you want to do with the weather. Ugh. Anyway, so they're telling you the heat is on, and for most of America, it'll stay on. Of course it will, because you don't want to shut it off. The latest UN sustainability goals pose more harm than good for environment, scientists warn. Well, somebody better write down what these couple of scientists say, because they will probably not be around with us longer. They probably just made the CKL, the Clinton list. I keep saying that over and over, and I'm probably going to get everything pulled at YouTube, which really at this point, who cares? COVID-19 lockdowns could lead to social unrest. Really? What in the world could make you come to that type of... I bet they paid a lot of money to research that right there. A lot of money for that research. I could have told you that from watching the idiots on the news and then watching the people with their cell phones. Social unrest is caused by the media, because that's what caused the lockdowns. The pandemic is in the media. It's on the television. Oh, this is awesome. Scientists use nanoparticle-delivered gene therapy to inhibit blinding eye disease in rodents. So we are putting nanoparticle-delivered gene therapy into rodents. I haven't read these, so I'm not reading them yet either. COVID-19 demonstrates why wealth matters. We'll look into that tonight too. 7 ways social distancing will change restaurants. I'll give you one way it'll change them. That open sign will just be closed. Only the huge chains that were able to break the rules, shall we say, and do whatever they wanted to do during these times, they'll make it. Especially if they got friends like Bill Gates. Lockdown returns. Some ask how far coronavirus measures can go before infringing on human rights. Look, it looks just like a sign from the movie They Live. I mean, they even made it in the big block letters like, oh my gosh, how much can we put it in their face? It's infringing on human rights the minute you say don't leave home in America. How about that? How about you take our rights the minute you say, hey, go in your home, put on a mask, don't leave, don't sing in church. You have infringed on just about every freaking right that we have as Americans. And yes, I'm screaming at a computer about it, but it's all that I know how to do. I've never stood up for much of anything in my life, except for me. I was very selfish, so this is new for me. But it's what I know to do right now, and who knows what tomorrow brings. Oh! Stay-at-home restrictions will be enforced by police. But anyway, we'll go over that tonight, too. China censors Hong Kong internet. Really? I think the internet's being censored pretty much everywhere now. U.S. tech giants resist. Oh, we act like we resist. No, you're censoring everything you want to censor. You're promoting your agenda the exact way you want to promote it. If you're a teenage boy that wants to teach teenage boys how to put on makeup and become teenage girls, 1 million views shot right to the top. If you want to tell you the truth about anything, I mean the truth about anything, like why in the world does the Space Force new uniform ground camouflage? Well, the truth is because they're not doing anything in space. They're still on the ground. Think about it. If they were really in space, their uniforms would be like black or like suits for being inside a building. Oh. Anyway. But what I wanted to show y'all here, what I did find in science, RNA key in helping stem cells know what to become. So we have RNA-based vaccinations that mutate your DNA. Look deep inside our cells and you'll find that each has an identical genome, a complete set of genes that provides the instructions for our cells' form and function. But if each blueprint is identical, why does an eye cell look and act different than a skin cell or brain cell? How does a stem cell, the raw material with which our organ and tissue cells are made, know what to become? Okay, we're going to go over this in a little more detail tonight with a little couple of background articles onto it. But basically, this is the link to the RNA vaccination mutating your DNA because they can reprogram your cells with it. Flat out. And hey, I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night either. And I stabbed myself with a razor knife yesterday. I'm really kind of an idiot at times. Childish even. But you know what? My daddy said, if you learn to read, you can do anything. So read. Look the stuff up. Find it on your own. Now, I'm not going to share all these links because I haven't went over them yet. And I'll share them tonight and then back maybe. Guys, the link to DLive is in the article. We can now post some videos over there too. I got to get back into that more. Quite frankly, my hand's starting to hurt. It's starting to throb a little bit. And the more I scream, the more it throbs. But this is where it all ties together. You got to get into these science publications. You got to find out how they interact with the mainstream media. And then you do some research yourself. We go over some patents at night. I go over weather modification patents, microwave radiation patents. Things like that. And I'm going to try to have something good together for tonight. And hopefully be on around 8:30 to 9 o'clock so I come on before Mike Morales tonight. And now, as those of you that are regulars know, this is a time where if you have something you would like to ask for a prayer request, you can put it in the chat. We'll say our end in prayer. And I would like to tell y'all all the time, I appreciate y'all coming to hang out with me. It's really cool to have so many show up when I'm only here so periodically and never on a normal schedule. I get over here when I can to YouTube. I really enjoy streaming on DLive. It's really just more fun for everyone involved, a little more interactive. And thank you, Stephanie. Conchetta. So, I'll be fine, yeah. Everybody was like, oh, you going to go get stitches? I said, no, I'm going to get my wife. Now, for most of the day, I kept it just packed tight, no bleeding, so I could finish up what I had to do. And today it was throbbing enough. I said, yeah, I think I'm just going to take it day easy. And I'm going to check out these links, Lorianne. Matter of fact, I'm going to grab them and save them now. And then we will say our exit prayer. That's one of the main things I like to do here is do the exit prayers. Just so we come together and pray sometimes. Oh, I can't load that while I'll do it and share it later. Anyway, we pray together no matter what's going on in the world, right? We can't change it. Jesus said, don't be scared, don't be fearful, be happy. These things have to happen. So I pray that he keeps his hand on us and maybe somehow by our opinion we can wake other people's up to the fact that this is a spiritual battle between good and evil, and it's not a worldly battle. There is something else afterwards. We don't have to fear death because death is just the beginning of our eternal life. Absolutely, Romans 8:11. Father knows what it is. Absolutely. Okay, everybody, and I'm glad I came on, and you know the way work is, I get it when I can, so I appreciate y'all coming by. Father, we thank you for allowing us to come together in this great time of fellowship, and being able to see each other, hang out with each other, and just come together as a body of Christ. Father, we thank you for everything that we have and the abilities to see what's coming, to know how to prepare for it, to at least be better versed in everything that's going on, to be like the wise virgins instead of the unwise virgins, to have the oil in our lamps, to be prepared for when the bridegroom comes. Father, I ask you to be with Romans, whatever these problems are, you know them. And I just pray that when they look back and see that set of footprints, they know that it was you carrying them through it. Father, anyone else that's dealing with any bad times, pains, discomforts, illnesses, you are the great healer, the great comforter. You are our creator. I just pray that you go to be with all of these people. Send the Holy Spirit to be all of those things to everyone. I thank you for your son that came and took those stripes so that I could pray for the healing for me and for others. And I thank you that he gave his life on that cross, fought Satan, took the keys to death, hell, and the grave, and by your power was resurrected on the third day so that we could be saved. And it's in his name that I pray. All right. Oh, hey, little thing. I found the clip of the Vatican singing to Lucifer, calling Lucifer the Father of Christ. I will play that tonight on D Live. I've got to get it cut down and loaded into the software. Just a little FYI. So I'm going to look at your little things here, your links, and I do appreciate them. And I really do appreciate all of you guys. And my mother appreciates your prayers greatly too. She really does. She tells me every time I talk to her to make sure and let all the people know, because I finally explained it to her. Mama, you don't realize there's people all over the world right now. It doesn't matter if we're 25 or 30. We're 25 or 30 every night, every day, around the world. And that's what's important. So, I love all you guys. I appreciate all you guys. I hope to start to get a bigger footprint here. Maybe I don't say things that get it just slammed down. I'm trying not to. I figured I never worried about monetization. It's not my thing. It's not what we're here for. So I hope that keeps me under the radar. At D Live tonight, I hope to come on at 8:30, no later than 9 o'clock, because if at all possible and my hand will allow, I've got to work tomorrow. I will call my mother today about 4:30, love pugs, and I will give y'all an update on her tonight. But she's doing fine. She's had some oxygen issues, but with everything that y'all know about her, she's doing good. So, you guys are awesome, and I'm not going to even try to read the chat right now because, quite frankly, once again, my hand is hurt. So, you all know I love you very much. Miss Fallout Shelter loves you very much, and she will probably be with us tonight. She can't be with us today. She's out trying to take care of some gardening before the big storms hit again. They've been crazy here. Tree fell on my neighbor's house. Been wild. All right, well, everybody, normally I would play some music here, but I'm just going to play the little Fallout Shelter outro and call it a day. God bless you all. Have a wonderful evening. Hope to see you all on D Live tonight.